Hello and welcome. I got something fun planned for today. I had a whole bunch of errands to run in the morning, but we're gonna do something fun because I hit 20,000 followers. Actually blew right past it, 20.4. So here's the plan. I'm not gonna give away everything, but we're gonna be building an environment. We're gonna be deploying the environment, and there's going to be audience participation. That is what I will say for now. I got about 3 hours to build stuff at the moment, which should be plenty of time. And then we'll get back to more serious stuff, likely tomorrow. Oh yeah, also, I finally got a temporary phone because I broke my old one. You know you can buy phones that look like this for $100? Not bad. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is good morning. Morning somewhere. Let me make sure that we should be fine like this, right? Yeah. Thank you. We're doing something fun to celebrate. Well, I'll give you a hint. There will be audience participation. And it should take me about somewhere between 1 and 3 hours to build this. More information as I get further in. My job is ML TV Scientific, wondering what the split will be. I mean, what the split will be. How much Claude can help, because I'm still new. Well, ops and tools and... Well, learn quick. And I suggest the lower level you get, the better. The less you just, like, try to get Claude to do everything, the better. Agents. And this needs to be multi-agent environment, right? So split between algorithm engineering. It's all engineering. Well, there's ML fundamentals and there is engineering. Learn both. Template? No. There is C code. This is just, we have a template project that you basically copy paste when you want to make a new project. I'd love to have a way to cut down on boilerplate. This is already like a third of the boilerplate that we used to require. But for now, there's still a little bit of stuff to set up, you know? So we're setting up new env, and we are going to have some fun with this. And there will be some fun surprises along the way. Okay. So this should be the core of it. Whoops. Honestly, to be fair, I didn't watch the podcast. Like, that was not my response to Carpathy, right? That was my response to people that kept jumping on my stream like, oh, Carpathy says RL no good, right? So I didn't write like, hey, Carpathy is stupid and wrong. I said, I don't care if he says this or anybody else says this. Look, I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to do this stuff anyways. I swear, nobody on the internet can read. It's a lost skill. Reading, programming, thinking in general. Well, this is less appeal to authority. Like, these are actually generally pretty good people. The thing that I'm actually the most impressed with about Carpathy is Carpathy has a skill that I also pride myself on, and he's very, very good at it. He's very good at making complicated things simple. And that is, I used to think that that was just good for like educational stuff. It isn't. It's how you make a lot of progress. That's the thing that I've always admired the most about him. All right, there's your template. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab... this environment's logic is actually going to be very similar to target. with some key distinctions and changes, okay? So now that we have a few people on the stream, I will give away a little tiny bit about what we're doing today. We are building an environment. It is going to look similar to Target. There is going to be substantial audience participation, and we're going to have this deployed live later today to a site that is not puffer.ai. Thank you very much for your PR, sir. I will get to a whole bunch of PRs this week. I'm a little bit behind on merging PRs. I've kind of just been grinding on research for the last 2 weeks solid, to be honest with you. My plan is to split most of the rest of this time this week between catching up on PRs and merging people's cool stuff, and then doing a little bit more on the optimization side, with the one exception of today being I'm celebrating 20,000 followers, and I'm doing a fun event for you all right now. Yes, OnlyFins. That is the name of the environment. We are making OnlyFins. Why, yes, good sir. We are, in fact, making OnlyFins. Grinding and learning? Yeah. I really wish I could just, like, merge people's PRs instantly and stuff, but the thing is, like, I'm really bad at context switching. So I kind of have to, like, do all of my PR reviews at once. And then I do them on stream, so I will actually go through environment code, right? And I will give feedback on stuff. But I have to kind of batch a lot of them. Very bullish on Puffer, thank you. This is the 20k follower special event. We are doing something fun. There will be audience participation. You too will be able to contribute. Yeah? Honestly, we should kind of just go grab all of the code, shouldn't we? I should have just started with Target. Ah, well, we'll start with this. Thank you for the congrats. It's kind of funny. I wasn't expecting that to happen, and then I just made a couple posts that happened to do well. Like, I was kind of expecting to get no growth on X at all for the next couple of months while I just really grind on core research. But then, you know, there was RL in the news, and I made a couple comments, and here we are, building OnlyFins. I didn't know anything started yet. We just started, Burns. This is, we are currently building the environment for the community event, and there will be, once it is done, you will see the audience participation. I'm not going to say exactly what it's going to be until I have the environment mostly finished, but it's going to be really fun. You're going to be able to have your agents on the website. I'll say that much. Nope, this is not Tinder RL. This is OnlyFins. Not OnlyFans. Kind of Burns is, like, kind of. It's gonna be a bit different from that. Actually, if you remember those old competitive programming environments, a lot of those would be really awesome for RL. I posted a couple in the Discord yesterday. Like, there's so much cool shit to do around here. If you're into it. And, like, for all skill levels as well. I don't know your background. I literally just saw your profile pic and was like, I remember that niche thing. I want this guy to build some RL stuff with us. That'd be fun. That's about as far as my brain goes. I probably should have started with this as, like, I should have started with this totally, but it's okay. You know? Oops. Wait, what the heck? Eh. Accidentally forking 9 front. They can't stop modifying systems. You know, systems programming is basically bread and butter here. Like, essentially what I did, okay, is the way that I did all this stuff with RL is I was just the first RL, like the first actually experienced RL researcher to get into systems programming at all. Like, that's basically all that it was. I'm just like a very stubborn and contrarian RL researcher who happened to get into systems, and nobody else happened to, like, do that exact thing. That's actually it, believe it or not. Congrats on 20K. I just started, man. We're building... We're gonna have some fun today, and we're gonna build something cool. There will be audience participation. There will be audience participation. What was the action space for target? Oops. Oh, cool. The action space is actually multi-discrete for target. That's even easier. Pulse. This. With height. We don't need all this crap, right? We just need num agents. These ones are good, right? Let's just get... one episode, return an episode length. We'll do these. They're perf. No, there's actually neither of these. So let's just do like this. We'll make it even easier. Hello, what am I looking at? You're looking at OnlyFins, Spencer. Why do you think Minecraft is not a good environment for RL? Alright, 2 reasons. And literally, I've had this argument with people at OpenAI as early as like 2017. I literally gave a presentation when I was intern there that was like the Minecraft is a bad RL environment slide deck. Number 1, it's slow as hell. Like unbelievably slow as hell. You could remake it, right? You could totally remake the game and have it fast though. So that's a pure engineering thing. Okay? The second one, which you cannot get around, is that Minecraft is not actually like a complex and interesting problem, okay? The reason that people do interesting shit in Minecraft is because they're bringing stuff they want to do from outside of that game into it. Like, there's no incentive whatsoever to build a cool house in that game, right? So if you reduce the game to the actual objective of winning it, it's kind of just like a shitty overblown RPG with modifiable terrain that you can finish in like an hour or whatever. Couple hours, few hours if you're not good at it. Like, there's really not much to it, and stuff like NetHack is better in every conceivable way. The only reason people use it is because, oh, it's Minecraft. But it's completely stupid. Completely. That is for RL. That doesn't mean it's a bad environment for AI, right? For LLM shit, sure, it's actually a really good fit for that. But for RL, terrible environment. Terrible environment. Makes a good and bad environment for RL. A good environment for RL is human interpretable. It's self-contained, so like the stuff that you need to solve the environment doesn't require you to bring a ton of outside knowledge in. It's very difficult to measure that, but that's very important because otherwise you get this asymmetric view of you think that the problem's really easy when it's actually really hard. It needs to be fast as hell. Fast sims are really good. Even if you're studying sample efficiency, fast sims are good because you can at least run more experiments on your fixed non-Google scale hardware. And they should also be fun, right? They should be fun. Additionally, if they let you study like some aspect of intelligence that is not present in other environments, that's a plus as well. But sometimes you don't know that until you've built the environment. What do you mean that they're finite? What's that mean? Bounded spaces. Like the map is, like the terrain or the map in them is bounded? Doesn't have to be. Environment just means sim, right? It's any interactable simulation. Right? And a lot of research, they're just games, but they can be other things as well. Terrain doesn't have to be bounded. Not at all. I can very, very easily make an infinite terrain RL environment. Why would that be a constraint? Or, okay, I guess practically infinite, right? Like, sure, you can't technically store the x coordinate forever. Get pretty close, though. You could solve with torch, and man, you could solve with, you'd solve cart pole with 2 cans and a piece of string. Yep, that's what I've always said. So, cart pole, you can solve with literally anything. Pong, you can solve with almost literally anything. Breakout is... The reason I do so much stuff on Breakout is the simplest environment for which if you do well on Breakout, there's a decent chance that you're going to do well on everything else. And if it does well on mazes, which is our grid environment, then you're pretty darn sure of it. What are we doing here? All right, so we have OnlyFins. Does this thing work? Right, and we get rid of this, right? And we comment out all this weights. Right, we comment out all our weights. And here are the puffers. Puff, 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 puff. It failed to load a texture. I think it failed to load a texture, right? Yep. Okay, here are puffers. Do not make the puffers eat other puffers. That is horrible and sadistic. You could very easily do something that's like, what was that game? Feeding Frenzy. Alright, so here's the plan. The environment that I'm going to build is actually very close to target, which is why I'm starting with this as a baseline. The first thing I'm going to do... The first thing I'm going to do here... Maybe I should put the num goals thing back in. Let's see what we have for observations. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... We're gonna make it, instead of seeing all of the... Like, seeing everything at all times, you're just gonna see the nearest, like, n of something. You're just gonna see, like, the nearest n things. That's how it's gonna work. So we'll just do... float. And this has to be env. Okay. And this is not ready yet. Like this. And then we're gonna have to sort. This is actually like a common thing. What's the easiest way to sort, like to do an arg sort on this? Hello, welcome. What's the easiest way to do an arg sort? Thank you. Just simplest sort in C given float this float star. And then let's just do 4. I'm trying to use CNN for simple 2D environment, having a hard time. Is there any Python example for CNN use? Yeah, didn't I show you this? Oh, we got another, we got some stars. Look at that. Very nice. Few newcomers start it. You go to 2.0 branch? Because I don't know why. I think I took it out because it was hard to deploy to C efficiently for the snake environment. But if you just go to 2.0 and you go to PufferLib and you go to Ocean and you go to Torch, then I linked you the snake net here, right? Like this is the simplest possible one. And this is like a pretty well-tested net as well. Like this is a very effective architecture for how fast it is. What? How bad is it if I do this quadratic? Is it bad? This is kind of bad, no? Yeah, because I don't know how many puffers I'm going to have. Let me just implement the same thing real quick here while I'm waiting. Wait, I don't know how I should feed the observation space into it. I couldn't find. There is no feed the observation space into it. Like, all you do is, here's the snake environment, right? The ob space of snake is just a box, and it has 2 dimensions. So if you give it a box with 2 dimensions, it'll give you back 2D obs input, and you're good. That's it. Okay, this is not bad. Why is there a static float? Wait, what? It's not an... Well, you can directly pass an RGB frame. Do you actually have, like, large image obs, though? What's your env? Because, like, how are you having, whatever. It's better. Just give me literal, just quick sort. Me no like think about quick sort. And it should be smallest first, right? Yes. It is implemented in Pygame. Well, then it's going to be absolutely terribly slow, right? Like, why are you trying to use, like, pixel obs from Pygame? The RL is fast and easy with PufferLib guarantee. Only goes if you act, like, only is holds. It's, like, only valid if you make your end fast. And so we arg sort. All right, let's get a little bit of progress on this, folks, so that I can get you all playing with this quite soon. No need to take forever on a super simple env. I just have to make it so that it can process, I just needed to make it so it's not like a fixed number of agents environment, right? So that the obs doesn't change based on the number of agents you have, and then add a couple small features. And you'll see what a big difference it's going to make, though, in the cool thing that we're going to develop. And let's do a quick arg sort. And we do like this, and now we have this. Cool. Okay, and this should be your ops. What? I can transfer M to... Why are you rendering it all? No, you can't do 10,000... You can't do 1,000 by 600 frame rendering fast. That's not a thing. Like, what is your environment? Why are you rendering it at all? Like, during training. Exactly. Like, why can't you just pass state or even partially observe local state as obs? It's so much easier and faster. Like, could I make some pixel M's work reasonably well at, like, at least usable speeds if I really wanted to try very hard? Yes. But is it 100 times easier to just pull local state? Absolutely. You think Dota trained from pixels? It didn't. This is a cool idea. It's not exponentially harder. It's not even harder to learn from pixels is the thing about it, right? It's not like researchers had this idea that like, oh yeah, it's just hard to learn from pixels. It's not true. It's not hard to learn from pixels. It's literally just slow. Like, I guess it's hard in the sense that you have to burn more GPU hours, but like, you could also make the problem by tying your hands back behind your back and typing all your code with your nose. Possible to create a Dota environment? Well, they just use Dota is the thing. They use the actual game. We have like a miniature MOBA that we made that's nowhere near the complexity of Dota, but it looks kind of similar and it's fun. Actually, we use the actual Dota map in our MOBA, but I didn't really take that project far enough to get anything super cool out of it, which I absolutely should have, but that one took quite a while to build. Maybe we're in at a time to do stuff with it. Okay, so pretty good. pixels is 8. This is supposed to be A. Yep. Oh, this is a fun game. Cool. Yeah, this is cool. I forgot about this. So, like, what you do, basically, you still write a renderer, but the renderer so that you can play the game, right? What you would do is you'd make the observations, like, just figure out the nearest 10 objects or whatever, and then give it the positions, like, the relative positions of the nearest 10 objects. Yeah? Like, do something like that. Yeah, for something like this, you can totally just have... You can just give it, like, partial observed state in the sense of the nearest n objects. That's funny. You just have points that you just, like... Yeah, that's like a totally fun little game. You can make a fun RL environment out of this. Don't render it in pixels, though. You'll be sad. You will be sad. Okay, so here's our environment now with static obs. Uh... Mm-hmm. Well, you can give it relative positions. You know, you could give it their health. You could give it, like, whatever else to bullets and other things. Yeah, you don't need a convnet. You'd use a MLP CNN. Or an MLP LSTM, my bad. Goals, right. Doesn't need num goals. This is always just fixed. Agents is 8. And the cool thing is, this will generalize. Machine learning in this manner is about conducting causality through a framework. Wait, what? Conducting causality through a framework. I do not know what that means, sir. I do not know what that means. Uh-oh. That is a problem. Oh. Damn it. Why is this updating everything when I do this? I'm sure this is just gonna break my entire bloody environment. I don't want to update. That's so obnoxious, man. I guess I should just do the damn update and hope that doesn't break stuff, because if it breaks stuff for me, it'll break stuff for everyone else. Alright, we're getting there, though, so... I'm gonna drop this stupid package. If they're pinning Torch 2.9 in their depths... Like, did they just update and break? I think they didn't do breaking change, but still... You should not be touching my CUDA as a frickin' optimizer library. Okay. Let's see if we have our Alex correct. This is 20. If I check the .h, this needs to be init. No? Okay. Can't beat my end if I get catastrophic. You can't beat any size or what? Up for ages? Okay, well then, like, cool. You have something that beats... That means you have a benchmark env, right? So, like, if you make a version of your env that randomly samples up to size n by n, and you set it to, like, 6 by 6 max, then you have a benchmark env that's unsolved, right? That's a good thing. That means we have something to improve on. And it could be the architect, or it could be any number of things, but that's like a useful contribution. Saying, oh no, I can only solve like some instances of my problem, and I can't, like, these instances seem hard, like, cool, now we have a benchmark, right? No, it doesn't. There's no way that your 6x6 env is harder than some of the other stuff in Puffer. No way. Not a chance. You have the problem framed in some silly way, I'm sure. If you told me it doesn't work for 10x10, then that's another story. Needs planning ahead, yes, because not a single environment in PufferLib requires any planning ahead, right? Okay. $157. Guess it is agents of I. Well, it's possible you're not giving the agent the numbers in a format that makes any sense. I will be happy to look at it for you, but we are doing the community event at the moment. I'm gonna be part of the community event as soon as I finish building the environment for it. We are celebrating 20K today. Okay, so it did just need to rebuild. Welcome, Finn. I'm building only Finns. Who turned compile on by default? It's like I have to just not merge anything to main ever because it's like every stupid PR I merge breaks shit. At least I don't ship new pip packages for this. I guess Heavy Ball changed it so it's like just compiling everything. This is why you have no depths. Because otherwise people will break your shit. Right, this works. See if this does anything. This, I imagine, is hanging because we don't have ops right? Okay, so this is 4, 8. Wait, no, this is 4 obs times 4, 8 times This is 4 things times 2. This is 16. This is 20 ops, right? Which is what we have specified. This is correct. Yes. And then we have instar actions. Okay, so now we see what silly mistake I've made here. And yeah, I should have literally just copy pasted the whole. It's okay though. They solved Wordle using UV. That's funny. I actually don't think depths are hard. I think that we do them in a very stupid way. Like, what should happen, right, is that you should be able to have different versions of the same library installed and used by different packages. You shouldn't get these version conflicts. Everything should be namespaced separate. All right, where did this happen? We get anything here? Really? Works here. You get 20 float 32s. Get your num agents is num m's times num agents. Good. M's. Get num agents. This all seems fine. It's like init isn't getting called. Env agents is calc env num agents. But this is getting set. Close to the hackathon? Awesome. Puffernet on hardware. I am excited. Today, Jess, we are building OnlyFans. We're celebrating 20K. I'm honestly tempted to just keep the one piece of code that I wrote on this and to just go copy paste, copy paste target from scratch. Because somehow I broke it. You shall see. This is a community participation event. Or it will be when I stop being stupid and I actually get the ENV to work. Oh, because you're dummy. You dummy is why. How you came up with the name? Well, it's OnlyFans. Okay, cool. Now it's compiling. Just had forgotten one thing. Oh, naming the library Puffer? Do I have this on the website? FAQ. Why is it called PufferLib? Would you have rathered yet another minimal tech logo? Here, have a pufferfish. There you go. Okay. So... Okay, so these are very hungry puffers. You see? And the reason these puffers are very hungry is because you all have not been starring the GitHub enough. If you feed the puffer some stars over here, they won't have to be as hungry over here. Now, believe it or not, we actually are almost, even though this is not going to really look anything like the end that we're building, we are not that far off. There are only a few small changes that we have to make for this. Yes, pufferfish. They're very nice. Nope, WebAssembly. We do not run a Python library on the website. We run pure C. I wrote my own little C version of PyTorch. And then we run the networks on that. Training is just PyTorch. We export the nets. We load them into C. He refuses to write PyTorch for his training loop. What? What do you mean? Alright, so the thing I'm floundering on here is there are a couple of different things we gotta do with the goal spawns in order to make this work. And since we now have quite a few folks on YouTube, I will give away a little bit more of what we're doing here. We're going to make a custom version of this env. It's going to play a little differently. And you all are going to be able to submit me agents. And the agents are not all going to be trained on the same version of the env, but they're all going to run on the same version of the env. And they're all going to go on the website today. So, as soon as I figure out how to write this, like, these last few things, we're going to have a build of this, and yeah, you're going to be able to submit me some puffers. It'll be fun. This is my idea of a special community event. Agents means agents, as in you submit me the model file. The trained agent. Yep, you're going to give me binary files. You're going to give me binary files, and your puffers are going to go on the website. We're going to puff around together. You get to write reward functions and much more. You shall see. The agents will interact. Sort of. They will be able to sort of see each other. And they do sort of interact. Actually, the degree to which they interact is going to be part of your job, which is going to be the cool part. This is also going to be a very simple community event. Like, basically anybody here watching who's interested will be able to get involved in this. This will be, like, even simpler than writing a really basic env, because you're just sort of modifying an existing one. Where's the frickin' scam bot? Where are you? Bam. Is it just one? Yep. Thank you. I don't understand why on earth they would bot our server when we write the bots around here, right? We write the bots. Hmm. Trying to think. Easiest way to do this. Hmm. You say that, Jess, but I could actually make that work, believe it or not. The only thing is that it would be very difficult. Writing the human reaction on the sim would be very difficult. But whatever. Okay, so we have a trained agent here. Why does my autocomplete not work? No, we don't do RLHF. We don't do language models. We do everything but language models. I want to get this env out so we can start having the interaction portion. Why do I not remember the freaking click button? We will have different colored puffers. We will have different colored puffers. Jess, technically, yes, but it's not really built for that in the sense that, like, you're probably doing language models. If by RLHF you mean language models, then no. If you mean, like, can I hack Puffer to do some cool in-the-loop stuff, then probably. It is really fast, right? All right. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and we will continue on this. So, the stars are going to be spawned on click. That is your next hint as to what we are doing. My legs are beat up so much. Gutted Super Maven. What happened with Wait, did they break Super Maven? Oh, it works for me. Nope. Yeah, the puffers are not supposed to be able to go off the screen. We'll fix that. What are you doing, Page? I don't really like this, to be honest. It's like 30. I kind of prefer... Well, I have two things. First of all, I have my repeat speed increased. And then I also can just, like... You know, I can do this. Which is pretty snappy. Oh, hell no, only fins? Yes, we do. I think I will reveal, since it's taking me a while to code this, I will reveal the next surprise. Well, the next surprise I will reveal when we at least have a prototype build. You will see what I'm going to go do with this. I did something else. I did something else quite amusing, let's say. This is only fins. Right, so. Oop. Have a star puffer. You can't eat the stars, right? You gonna eat the star puffer? Yeah, you'll eat the star, right? Yeah, it'll eat the stars. Nom 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 nom. Of course. It is getting more adopted, though. Like, the growth is it's, like, growing very quickly. Probably like the largest growing RL, like the fastest growing RL library right now as well. It's like fish food. Ah, yes, it is like fish food. Very clever. Oh? Ho ho! That is a very nice PR. Young, I'm planning on going through a whole bunch of PRs this week. I'm going to batch all of them. This is actually one of the things I'm super excited for. Let me finish this thing, though, that I'm working on right now, alright? And we will do... I'm going to do a full... Because I want to do a full review of this when I do this week. We're doing a 20k follower special community event right now. It involves this environment and, well, a few other things, let's say. Alright, so that's most of what we need. There's one other thing. Can you wait, you can merge 391? Wait, is this, like merge now, or what am I doing, or what? Online bug fix. Yeah, but this breaks shit. The thing is, I'm pretty sure this breaks shit. Oh. Wait, that was 391. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Wait, do I need a train mode flag? I don't think I need... Hang on. The one little tricky thing about this env is it's going to behave differently at training and test time. But it's not that hard. No, Puffer's not affected by AWS. Tetris harder. Now it looks fun to watch. What do you mean making it harder? Do I stick with 1 mil SPS knowing that I know works, or do I refactor moved logic? It depends what ends up being the bottleneck, right? Like, what percent are you spending on your env time? Like, can you just run more cores? What are you doing? Definitely save and commit your current stuff, obviously. Looks like the bulk and meat of the RL algorithm more so than the other previous. This is not the learning, this is the environment code right here. But there will be, this is part of a community event where I'm going to be done with this env in between 1 and 2 hours, most likely, and then you all are going to be able to submit me agents. It's going to be fun. Levels drop, speed increase, added. Okay, awesome. Full Tetris. I'm down with full Tetris. You have to do mouse X. Not what's on the screen now, though. Hang on. You're gonna add 1 obs. 1. Cool. So, now I just update the mouse position. You had to test playing against the agent. PufferLib is awesome. PufferLib is awesome. Okay, something like this, yeah? And it's just it goes like this. Okay, here we have we have only fins. There are only fins around here. Yes. And where are we computing rewards? It has reward for eating stars. Cool. 2D is conversion to Python. Yeah, it can be if you write your env in Python and then you see end of time is a big chunk of your performance, then you're bottlenecked by Python. Python is just an obnoxiously slow language. Let's see if we can train a decent OnlyFins agent. And then we will, I will set the rest of this thing up, and then we will explain what we are doing. And then you guys will be able to request a few changes to the environment, if anything would make it easier before I launch it officially, and open it up for you guys to make the agents. Silly puffers. So look, you can play with the puffers. Yeah? Isn't that fun? We can probably make it a fair bit easier if I just change this to like 30. Better policy. No, the puffers do not get death rays. That is not a thing that will happen. No puffer death ray. They can't be hungry. Do not hurt the puffers. The puffers are friendly, okay? Puffers are friendly creatures. Oh, these puffers. Ah. Puffers are friends, not food. These ones are not very smart, though. Ah, this is the problem. This should give us a better policy. And then there are 2 more small things we have to do with this before we begin taking requests. Oops. Should we make the puffers different colors? Do you think, or should we just have them all be blue? Does this package come with character customization? Hello, welcome. Do you design this whole thing and see live? This is a variant of an environment I've written on stream before, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Oop. Put a star down here. Yep, they know. Takes them a second to figure it out. Okay, there's some puffers. You can play with them. Calibrate how random their movements are. No, I'm just making sure I don't have, like, this entire thing completely bugged. And that generally they will go get the stars. They're also kind of speedy, aren't they? I think the puffers are a little too fast. Let's see how it looks if I just half the speed. Give them momentum. They have momentum. They do have momentum. Because they have acceleration, which means they have momentum. That's a little better, right? Okay, so do we want rainbow puffs or do we want them all blue? I kind of like them just being blue. It might make them hard to tell apart, though. I kind of would... We could put them name tags. Gravity there and water. They swim. They're buoyant. Okay. And the next thing is... How do we do names? This. Something like this. Star names. Okay, look at that. So we can do agent names like this, right? That's going to be your usernames. You're going to have your usernames with the puffer. I will begin taking requests for features as soon as I have the prototype, my friend. Soon as I have the prototype. Okay, that looks centered. And then the next bit is going to be and we will add this thing. There they are. Okay. Now, let us get the, I want to get the deployment ready. Actually, Grok can totally fix this up for me. All right? Because this is a very, very simple thing I want to do. I just have Grok already anyways. Because of Twitter. I messed this up. Let me new chat, do this. Is just a super routine thing. And then we will talk about what you guys can do with this. We'll take requests to change the environment. I just want to see if... Well, we'll take requests for the environment next, and then we'll get it deployed. And you'll see the last little twist I've gotten for this. But this is the idea, right? So I'm going to have it so that you can just basically PR your .bin file to the repo, and it'll just pick up the .bin file, and boom, your puffer will be in the game. RL is going to be a lot cooler, I think, than language models. Nah, convert. It'll just be like convert.bin or whatever you want the name to be. Cool. There's our puffer. Hey, you very smart? You're not very smart here, are you? Huh? We'll try to get a better model. We'll seed it with a few more, actually, is what we'll do. So that's probably the issue. Okay, what requests... I'm going to try to train a slightly better model for this. But what requests do we have for environment changes? here is what is going to happen with this, okay? Obviously, I'm going to clean up the code a little bit. This is the goal. You are going to train a puffer. You can do whatever you want as long as your puffer works in the base version of the environment, okay? You can change the env logic, whatever. Obviously, the observations and the rewards have to match. Not the rewards. The observations and the actions have to match. But you can train in custom envs. You can mess with the rewards. You can't mess with the neural net. The neural net stays the same. You can mess with the hyperparameters. You can mess with anything else. Okay? And your goal is to just make a fun puffer to play with. That's different from everybody else's puffer. You have access to a couple of things here. So the puffers can see the positions of the four nearest puffers, the four nearest stars. So they can see a little bit nearby. But they can also see your mouse position. Alright? You can train the puffers to interact with the user's mouse in any way you want. And to interact, and like to go get the stars or whatever you'd like. And then we're going to put everybody's puffers. You're going to just PR your puffer. And we're going to put everybody's puffer in the same big tank. And here is the last twist to this, okay? Here's the last twist I did just to make this a little bit funnier. Let me make sure I don't leak this. I bought this domain. So we're gonna put this on onlyfish.ai. I'm gonna copy paste the website, the puffer website. I'm gonna just strip everything else out, so it's just like the main page with this env. And then we're gonna put like links to everybody's GitHub and stuff. So you can PR your .bin, and you can PR your name to the index file with a link to the repo for your train code and stuff. The puffers can see up to 4 things, like nearby. So they can see up to 4 nearby puffers, maybe 3 including them, like if they're not including themselves, and they can see 4 nearby stars, and they can see your mouse. Can we buy subscriptions for different fishes? That would be hilarious. If there were an easy way to do that, that would be so funny. So yeah, this was my idea for like a quick hack together a little challenge competition for all of you. The goal is purely to make a fun puffer to play with. So an easy thing to do, right? You can just have a puffer that eats the most stars, sure. But they also know where your mouse cursor is. And you can train it however you like, right? So I put in this little basic thing to randomize the mouse position. Okay, these puffers get dumber on this signal if I train them for too long. Uh, hmm. How does the mouse cursor work if everything is on your big tank? What do you mean? So when you're in the website, you'll be able to, it'll like know your cursor position and you'll be able to play with them. Is an object is it a enum if the object is a puffer or star? Implicitly, yes. Those are some good directions. The puffers are randomly placed, but like the end does not reset. The competition is open for until I get bored of merging more puffers in. Yeah, this is annoying that I don't know why for some reason we've like made the end screwy or something. I want to make sure we have a stable training model. Hmm. See if this is stable. It's obnoxious. Why does it do worse? Maybe it's entropy. Yo, Akarsh, welcome. We're doing something very, very silly at the moment. I just have to get this baseline stable. So, okay, here's the idea. We are building OnlyFins, in which we have an environment. There's an environment. You get to mess with it however you want, and you submit to me a puffer. And then the puffer goes on the website with everybody else's puffer in the same tank. And here's the fun part. It's going on onlyfish.ai. Oh, it's supposed to be onlyfish, not onlyfins. Right, onlyfish. Shit, I named it wrong. Fuck. Alright, I gotta rename everything real quick. I forgot that the OnlyFins was what I was trying to get, and OnlyFins was taken by a Finnish dating site. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna commit this though so I don't mess it up first. Yeah, OnlyFins is better, but it was a Finnish dating site, so... No, it was not. This is like a super old idea. I don't think it was his idea. To be fair, it's so long ago. It could have technically been, but I don't think so. Dude, I don't watch the podcasts. So I've basically been working nonstop. I've done nothing at all. Like, until yesterday, I did... Not even until yesterday. Until today, I've done nothing at all other than research dev on Puffer 4, like client work, and working out. I've had 0 spare time. And then yesterday I lifted weights all day. Oh, that's not true. I also lifted rocks. How much did Carpathy? I don't know. I actually don't know if that was part of it or not. Because he just replied, he didn't retweet it or anything. I've been building some really cool stuff lately, though. This is just for funsies today. Like, this is just me taking a break, doing something silly to celebrate stuff with the community, and hopefully this will end up being kind of cool, right? Like this will be kind of fun. Okay. Okay. Community projects? Maybe, yeah. And it kind of everything is, but we can do more fun stuff like this now and again if this ends up being cool. Let me figure out how we are going to get this onto the website. I think I got to make a private repo. Can you have multiple GitHub pages? I think you can, right? Okay, I have this only fish repo. Why not make it a separate branch? Because building docs pages off of branches sucks, dude. Hello, Martin. Can you even do that? I don't think you can even do that. No. You can't even do that. Away you. Let's get this actually built first, I guess. Okay, now somebody remind me how we do the whole custom website thing. Pages. Yeah, I know. It never frickin' works. Opus. I've done it a million times. It always screws up somehow. Because I'm deving in like a million containers and shit always. This is main. And I have to go do this from Namescheap real quick, I think. I have to do the DNS check. One moment. Domain list. I remember where I do this. Ah, I did it in GoDaddy, didn't I? Okay. It's this thing, right? Let me see. CNAME. Yeah, nice merge conflict, GitHub. Real smart. You not yeah, I do, and then I take breaks for a bit. But like I can do this stuff for weeks on end, and I'm like revolutionizing a field of science here. If you actually look at what is in each major update to Puffer, each major update to PufferLib literally changes what you can do in the field of RL. People are starting to catch on to that. It's not broadly known yet, right? It takes a while for people to realize, but like the stuff you can do in 2.0 is qualitatively different from what you can do in 1.0 and 3.0. And I can pretty much map out like the very precise technical steps that I take from 4.0 to 5.0 that will just put RL on the map as a mature subfield of AI. And to be able to do that as like a little tiny private lab with a big open source group is kind of awesome. And then I do silly stuff like this once in a while. How do you make money? How does it? Yeah, like companies pay for custom sims, priority service, contracted R&D. Depends, Kevin. Super basic stuff starts at 10K a month. Goes up from there. At this point, we're mostly quoting for like we're quoting for specific projects. Okay, so does this work? Yeah, we have pricing on the website, at least the bottom end of it. No, that doesn't remotely sound expensive, Jess. Hmm. Like right now, it's still super underpriced because we're relatively small. It'll go up over time. Like we do still offer we still do offer 10K for like basic support, but we are no longer doing we're no longer doing custom sims that low anymore. 10K is now like mostly just extended support. Yeah, Jess, I've been meaning to. Something like logistics tens of millions, yeah. Does Starbucks actually have its own? Is that actually a thing? That I would be surprised, but where did we go? DNS check in progress. Cool. Let me use a restroom. And hopefully this gets deployed. We'll like minimize the web page, and then you guys, any additions we want to the environment, think about some stuff, and you guys are going to be able to start submitting me agents. I mean, they take 30 seconds to train, so you just mess with some rewards, and you can probably have different agents. We're going to probably do one agent per person, but you're going to be able to update your agent over time. So you can like just submit something, and then you can change it. Wow. So sore, my gosh. It turns out when you do 43 sets, oops, let me Drink. It turns out when you do 43 sets in a day and go lift a bunch of rocks outside as well for the hell of it and do a bunch of stretching and all, you get to be really sore. Why were you glazing Carpath? Because I met Carpathy when I was like 16, dude. He's awesome. I interned in Feifei's lab when he was a student there, so I got to chat with him a bunch back then. I don't follow him for his LLM takes, though. You know? Okay, this DNS check is going. Let's see if in the meantime we can clean this up. Are you also running? Yes, I'm running, well, not on Sunday, I'm not, but I run 27, 28 miles a week, I think. 5.7 times 5. Yeah. 5.7 miles in the morning, Monday through Friday. Hard trail as well. It's like really soft earth and like tall grass. No, your model has to be the same architecture. You can't change the architecture. That's too annoying for me to mess with in the sea. I got dinner in 15 minutes. Let me see if I can get an initial demo page. Okay, so let's fix this. I am going to do an evening stream as well for you guys. So, because we're going to get this up and running today. The environment right now, by the way, it's been pushed to 3.0. So we're going to probably make some enhancements and stuff, but you guys can already start playing around with the rewards, the reward signal and stuff. The directions are in the file. So if while I'm at dinner, if you guys want us to try this, it should be pretty simple. The environment is only fish, and then it has, you know, in the .c or the .h, it has instructions, and it's all just this one file. Pretty straightforward. And essentially, you can start getting your models ready, because as soon as I have this up on the website, you're going to be able to start PRing puffers, and they'll just like immediately be on the website, which will be pretty awesome. I would love to have at least like a few submissions by later tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll take some requests on the env. So I'm not going to say that the env is final yet. We might make some very small tweaks that might cause you to have to retrain the model, right? Like I might want to norm the screen size differently so that it works on different res monitors or something like that. But like high level is pretty much what it is. Should I put a prize on this stuff? Should I put like a couple $100 on this? I don't know if that actually helps or not. The thing is, it's very subjective, right? It's like completely subjective judging. So that might be awkward. Yeah. I think I'll just like I'll feature the top few puffers on X, I think, is what I'll do. Because otherwise it's like subjective judging with cash prizes is kind of bad. We're kind of low on those at the moment, Jess. I could do that. We're kind of low on those. I probably need to buy some more, and I gotta go for dinner. So folks, in a minute at least I do. I will be back right after dinner in like 30, 40 minutes. Um, start getting your puffers trained. After dinner, it's like, I'm just gonna clean up this site. We're gonna have the env on there, and I'm gonna start accepting PRs for it. I think that I'll like, I'm not gonna fully finish the site either. I'm just gonna like get it ready. If one of you wants to make like this into a nice one-page thing, because I'm kind of just minimizing the old website. This can easily just be one index page with like a little bit of JavaScript. If anybody wants to do that, cool. But I just want to get something settled, you know? I play tomorrow? Yeah, you can do tomorrow. Spencer, welcome to Only Fish. So I am the proud owner of onlyfish.ai, and we have a nice little environment in which you train a pufferfish. And everybody's going to submit their puffers, and we're all going to throw them into the same environment on the website. You basically get to PR your puffer. It's going to be fun. No, but there are a couple cool things. So, in the deployment environment, stars appear when you click. So you can click to drop food for the puffers, and the puffers can see your cursor. So based on these two things, you should be able to train a puffer that is fun to play with, and that is different from all the other puffers. The puffers can also see nearby stars and a few of the nearby puffers. So you can get a lot of personality into these fish. I have to look at it, Ethan. All right. I will be back in 30, 40 minutes after dinner for more.